Hello there, guys. How are you all doing today? We are going to be going into I believe the second last, or maybe the last quarterfinals here today. But either way, one of the final games here in this quarterfinal stage. We have VP.Prodigy versus Into the Breach. And what are your thoughts going into this one, Charlie?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, Into the Breach, they looked really great in the regular season. 8-0 in the regular season, looked really strong. VP.Prodigy, on the other hand, they've had a bit of a rougher time in the regular season, I suppose. Still wasn't terrible. They had a really awkward start. They've really stepped up in playoffs when they did need. I say that, actually, they got a forfeit win, so not stepped up as much as I thought. But still, a win's a win at the end of the day. But VP.Prodigy, they've always been a team that we've looked at and been really impressed by, but this is where they've got to show it once again. Against Into the Breach, the big dogs of the league. People,
I thought that was a collab with a USP there from Draken, but it was in fact Dobbo. That is absolutely amazing. Dobbo and Draken getting 3 kills there within a matter of seconds. It just leaves Fen2k in this 1 versus 2.
No armor, does have a smoke and 100 HP to play with.
Yeah, Charlie, something we mentioned kind of before we went live here today, I feel like Into the Breach, they've looked so good in the SCL so far. They've looked good in kind of all the events they've been playing in. And realistically, I feel like they're a team that doesn't matter what map, doesn't matter kind of what day they're feeling. I feel like they're always going to be definitely the team you're going to be favoring. And I feel like Vertigo's a map we've seen them dominate on in the past. So you've got to imagine this could be closed out in a 2-0 fashion. I feel like any team playing off against Into the Breach certainly gonna need to find success on their own map pick just to kind of keep them in the series, because I feel like it will be a real rarity to see a team best their opponent's map pick, especially Into the Breach. But obviously Inferno has been selected by Into the Breach, a map kind of played and known by all, so you got to imagine there's a slight chance that we could see VP.Prodigy close this one out 2-0, but emphasis on the word slight.
Yeah, it does feel like Into the Breach are the heavy favourites for this. I mean, VP.Prodigy, maybe if they had a better regular season, it'd be a bit more even. But yeah, they haven't looked exactly to their peak, what we're used to from them. But hopefully this is where they can start to thrive a bit more, so we can get a bit more of a competitive game. But yeah, Vertigo's going to be an interesting one. We've seen VP.Prodigy play it once this season. They won it 16-11. It wasn't the most convincing game from the eye test. It didn't look perfect, but a win's a win nonetheless. Cypher getting very aggressive despite having no ammo in his mag.
Yeah, Rusty with a lovely little double there with the A1S will be able to close it out. And I'll be honest with you, Charlie, looking at the bracket, looking at the previous results, I think Into the Breach, they've got a great chance to close, take the whole season. Realistically, the league leaders for the past 3 seasons, they've been eliminated. Hotu, they really just took it to Iron Branch. And I feel like Into the Breach now, maybe Hotu's the one team that they're going to be looking at. You know what, Iron Branch, certainly a team that Into the Breach were going to try and best, but they're not even going to have the opportunity to face them. But I feel like ITB, they've got a fairly simple run. Oh, and look at this from Rusty. Able to get 3. Resso and Latic, all that remain. The A1S will be retrieved afterwards. And that is a great B hold there from Dobbo and Rusty.
Cypher deliberately didn't pick up the FAMAS, instead kept the PB Bison.
He doesn't, yeah, the PB Bison's in the league.
Thrown away instantly, so maybe no PB Bison. Is Draken gonna get an AWP? He certainly is. Cypher drops one over. Draken instantly on the AWP to rival Latic. That's gonna be a really exciting AWP battle throughout this series. Latic versus Draken.
I feel like in a couple of the recent games, Draken hasn't kind of been the top performer. I feel like he's been in the middle of the pack, but I feel like we have had some kind of not perfect results from Draken, but we've still seen a lot of success from ITB. So it just goes to show, yes, if one of your star players isn't fragging, it doesn't really put a constraint on the fact whether Into the Breach can take it. Latic though does take down Cypher. The trade does come through. 4 versus 4 now. Both Resso and Latic have been tagged down initially, and Adam has been hit by a stray bullet through the smoke.
I feel like that's sort of what separates a good team from a great team. When you don't really particularly play great CS, but you still get the win. That's sort of the level you need to get at. You don't need to play your best every single game, but still you're able to get these victories. Resso, very important trade back onto Adam. Keeps it into this 3 versus 3.
And I feel like the real difference maker with this ITB side is every single player has their moments. It's not as though there's consistently players that, aren't getting to the top. We could see any one of these 5 at the top of the leaderboard and we wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, Adam potentially is it will be more of a rarity to see him at the top. But realistically, we've got Inferno on the cards. I feel like that's Adam's real
still has his
battleground.
games.
Yeah, definitely.
Important kill there from Latic. Finding the quick scope. Dobbo is here though. Will Latic be aware? He looks very posed to find the kill, but no. Dobbo does come out on top.
That's great
Dobbo
from
very clean with this so far. Info's gain, and Dobbo with these headshots is just beaming right now.
So simple. So easy.
Dobbo's normally a player I feel like we look at who's not normally near the top of the leaderboard, but the impact he has is so noticeable. Yes, so unbelievable the impact that Dobbo does have. In this one, he's sort of got it both. Top of the leaderboard and got the impact. He's sort of doing it all.
And that's the scary thing. You know, you look at this side and normally you'd maybe have 2 or 3 star players into the breach. It's kind of just whoever wants to take it, really. All 5 of them. And Dobbo certainly stepping up so far here on Vertigo. Rusty as well, top of their scoreboard with 6 alongside his teammate Dobbo. But Dobbo hasn't died yet, so he's got that, you know, better KD.
Just, you got to think, the further into the tournament we go, the more and more pressure builds, and you have to just admit, in terms of who's got the most experience out of these remaining teams, it surely has to be into the breach.
Definitely.
Just players like Draken, he's won some of the biggest events in the world. It's just, this pressure surely isn't going to be getting to him, at least not nearly as much as other people. Obviously, he's had to climb his way back through the CS ranks after sort of switching to Valorant.
But you've got to imagine as well, you know, Rusty, we've seen him put up some big numbers. I believe it was, what, Gamer Legion he was on before?
Yeah, Rusty's been on some big teams as well.
Yeah, and I think, so you've got these kind of 2 newer players, you could say. I think they've been into the Breach roster for a couple months now, but you've got these 2 newer players, and then that's alongside the core. And Adam, Dobbo, Cypher, they've been playing alongside each other for such a long time now. Even in these high-pressure situations, I feel like the core is working so well. But Latic, a lovely double with the P250, but Rusty engages. A great double from him. It's just Result remaining. 10 HP with the Tech 9. And Rusty hunting for the 3rd. Will find it, and into the breach. They go 5-0 up here. This is their opponent's map pick. To remind you, Charlie, VP.Prodigy, they're the ones who selected Vertigo.
Yeah, it can be quite scary for them if they're not sort of finding some success reasonably early on. Into the breach is normally a side that we actually look at sometimes and think they're quite slow to start in occasional games. And it seems like they can often make a bit of a comeback. I believe their very first game of the SCL, they were pretty significantly down. It might have actually been to Hot 2. And they made quite a nice comeback to build their way back into it. But that's one thing that Into the Breach have as well. Obviously, you mentioned the core of this team, the 3 UK boys. They've sort of, I mean, they're no strangers to these long fought back victories. And in general, they've been around the scene for a long, long time as well, even though they're all very young. I think Dobbo's just turned 19.
Yeah.
And it feels like he's been around for years and years.
Well, you know, these 3, they've been through the trenches. They've really kind of had, you know, everything thrown at them. So when it comes to these long drawn-out best of 3s, even a slow start in best of 1s, or just in any game, really, they've got that mental fortitude to just keep themselves going. And I feel like this 5 really kind of has come alive. Obviously, we saw with the ITB roster, we saw the addition of Thomas and Smooya. I think they were just operating as those stand-ins. But you can see the difference. Like, this 5, it just works so perfectly.
100%. It feels like this is the blend that Into the Breach needed.
I've been waiting for it, and now they finally got it. You can just see them keep persisting, keep going, and I can't wait to see them. You know, I reckon they're the type of team that can slowly be encroaching on that top 30. It might not be in the next couple of weeks, but you know, I feel like eventually the success of this team so far has looked absolutely amazing. So, at what point are we going to be kind of, you know, questioning when they are going to break into that top 30?
Yeah, I feel like you've got to think if they can get a win of this SCL season, that will bung them up a decent bit. They probably wouldn't be too far. I think they're 60 in the world right now. So just a win for this tournament could be very big for them trying to achieve top 30, along with whatever else they're playing.
Well, yeah, though, you know, obviously this is kind of just another league for them to try and show their dominance in, and they've clearly done a lot of work. But yeah, a multitude of events that they've recently played. I believe they went over to, I want to say, Norway, or maybe Finland recently.
Yeah, I think it's Finland.
Yeah, and they won that event
Draken
there.
had some great posts in Swinland. Swinland?
Swinland.
Winland.
Winland. W-land. That's where Draken resides. Always in Winland. Oh, and I love this from Adam. Just slowly creeps his way on down, gets a clean double. And I like to see it. You know, time and time again, we see Adam operating as this kind of initial probe, getting that kind of deep, aggressive plays. Oh, we see an open play. Oh, that's something I feel like we've hardly seen, but Draken brings out the Autotronic on that M9.
But I feel like it shows a lot of, it shows the different mentality, doesn't it? We've casted a few games where we've sort of been like, oh, he can go for a knife hit, and they just get the kill.
Yeah, they just go for it with the bullets.
It sort of does feel like, I mean, you saw that push from Adam. Into the Breach had a man advantage, and Adam still continued to push down the ramp. If they were expecting him, he could have just given away his life, given up that man advantage. But it just shows the confidence of the guys on Into the Breach, and it's clear to see why they haven't lost a game. I feel like lost a game at all in the SCL. I'm not even sure if they've dropped the map.
Well, I feel like they're going to be going into a lot of these games thinking, you know what, we're going to win it. And I feel like when you do have those sides that are just full of confidence, there's not even a shadow of doubt in their minds that there's even a possibility of losing it. That's where you really see the difference between the teams. Because obviously when you're in those tough matchups, you've got the pressure on your shoulders, but then you've also got that kind of sense of, well, if we don't win this is kind of us done. But Into the Breach, it doesn't seem as though they have a single chasm of that. It's just full confidence, and look what it's doing for them. They're currently 6-0. This flash as well going to make things tough for this ramp aggression. And Adam is timing on the peak, and look at the double swing from the CTs. Adam finds 3. Cypher will take down Latic, and Into the Breach, they find 7 here on their opponent's map pick.
Yeah, this is looking really dominant, and I actually feel for Dragon in a matchup like this. It's because the aggression that Into the Breach are taking, it's you're just so much of the aggression is being taken by the rifles, so Draken just isn't having as much impact. But it's a team game, and right now, as a team, Into the Breach are looking supreme.
I feel like I sometimes see it with you in the kind of simple games that we play here and there. You won't get anywhere near as much impact because I can run it down mid with an M4, whereas you don't really want to do that with an open hand. So Draken potentially not in the most friendly of positions right now in the kill department.
Draken. I do feel for him, but either way, I'm sure he's not going to be complaining if they win this one. Yeah, to point out, I did double check. Into the Breach have not dropped a single map so far in the SCL. They've had a couple of close ones. Doesn't matter how close it is, as long as you get the victory.
That's the only stat that really means anything.
An advantage here for VP.Prodigy, though. This sort of looks like the best chance they've had so far all game. Dobbo could be tested.
Oh, Adam finds Lomic. No more aggression, so now they realise it could be this B hit. The util will be coming over. Dobbo sends the smoke and the flashbang to deter. We do see this boost in play, but I don't believe they can see through the smoke.
Is it a one-way smoke? I believe it was there.
It's Dobbo's. It was Dobbo's smoke. He threw it from headshot. Pushing their way on through, though. We've got 3 defenders here towards B. Dobbo will find Result. 4 versus 3 now. The Molotov comes through, and Dobbo will go down. The time ticks away, and they're eventually going to have to rush this attack. Only a nade to play with, and look at the util from ITB. Rusty and Adam both a killer piece. Oh, and Draken unable to find the kill, but there's barely any time. And Rusty with the deagle with his sidearm will take down Latic. And you mentioned you kind of feel for Draken. Realistically, he's hardly had to fire off the AWP, so he's not really had to warm into
the game.
Yeah, 2 of his, I think maybe even 3 of his kills came from the pistol, or at least 2 of them. One's a knife kill, so at least 3 out of his 4 kills have not been with the AWP.
He's got 1 kill with the AWP so far this game. But either way, the half's been won from Into the Breach already. They're speedrunning this.
I feel like we only started this game about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, you want to get that semi-final spot already. VP.Prodigy in a difficult situation in terms of what to do about a buy. A half buy is probably the safer option, but there's going to be a point where they're going to need to take some risks. Because this, like you said, this is VP.Prodigy's map pick. If Into the Breach are at a stage where this game could be too far gone, we might need to see VP.Prodigy take the risk and go for a force in some of these rounds. So it could be quite scary. I do actually love that Dobbo's using the A4. One of the players who've converted back to that weapon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always a little bit 50-50 on whether I'm gonna switch back, but I'd have to buy a new skin, and then
I mean, that's how I used to decide if I was in like 2015-16. Whatever skin I had, whatever skin I liked, I was using them for the A1S. And back then, I hated the A1S. But I was like, oh, I've got a new skin for it. Got a crystal. Got to use it. I think if you're good enough with the spray, like Jobbo evidently is, I think the A4 is surely going to be the play. But for people like me who didn't want to learn a new spray,
just stick with the A1S.
Yeah, A1S.
I was gonna say, the way you operate is based on the weapon, kind of the skin you have. So if I buy a Dragon Lore, I trump you on who gets to use the AWP. Is that how that works?
I said I used to.
Oh,
Don't do that
okay.
anymore.
You don't do that anymore. Okay.
Have you seen my M4 skin?
That is
It's worth about £2.
Yeah, but you got those nice stickers on them, don't you?
I think we've got 2 face stickers.
Yeah.
My A4 skins
2021
Desert Strike, so neither of my M4 skins are exactly incredible.
Just goes to show how little you use the rifle.
Exactly. Oh, Cypher, cheeky play. Takes down Fen 2K, and this is looking like pure domination from Into the Breach. It's tough to even write a storyline for VP.Prodigy right now, because they're not really giving us much to offer. They've had man advantages in certain rounds, Fred, but they've just not been able to make it work.
Well, I feel like time and time again we see them within a matter of seconds just lose the opening pick. Whether it's aggression towards B from Dobbo, it's the aggression up mid-op from Cypher. It's just full W down ramp. It seems like they just have nothing to work with. But Latic finding Rusty. Adam does fall as well. 3 versus 3 now, but Cypher and Draken still here towards A, and Cypher gonna take down Latic. The final player has been heard towards ramp. It is Result, currently 2-9. Oh, and the number 2 isn't the one that's changing in this altercation as Cypher takes him down.
Double digits already on the board. 10 rounds of play. All 10 rounds gone the way of Into the Breach. VP.Prodigy, you picked this map for a reason, boys. Show us why. We need to see some signs of life. Draken's been on around 16k the whole game, it feels like.
Dobbo's only got 1 death. He's on a 9 KD here. This is a quarterfinals, Charlie.
We've had Into the Breach have had closer games in the regular season. They've had overtime games against Cyber MD. I don't even think they're still in the tournament.
Yeah, but I feel like they understand. I feel like in the regular season, potentially when it got to that closing stage, they potentially. I don't want to say they didn't try as much, but obviously when you're 7-0, 6-0, you know you've got playoffs, and I feel like Into the Breach a team that once they get themselves in that secure playoff spot, I feel like seeding doesn't even matter to them. Whoever they're going to play, they've got that confidence. As I mentioned before, I feel like they go into every game with the mentality of, you know what, we're going to win, so let's win it as quick as we can, and they're certainly showing it here. Currently 11-0 on their opponent's map pick. And Charlie, dare I say it? Playoffs. Are we going to see a 16-0?
I've been thinking this for a couple of rounds.
Oh, I've been thinking it since round 7.
But it's something I'm too scared to say.
Oh, I'll say it. I'll get the backlash.
I think when we get to 12 or 13, then fair enough. But see, this you said it. It's
I wrote
over.
it. It's alright. I apologise to everyone in the chat. I ruined this.
Thank
Oh, you know
God,
what?
he's putting up numbers. What is this? A man advantage again, Fred. The spacing was so off from VP.Prodigy. Dobbo has time to reset his aim, and he's looked so clean this game. I don't know what he's been doing in his spare time, but clearly aimbots is a big part of it.
It definitely ate those Weetabix for breakfast.
I mean, more than that, apparently. Maybe those sort of ones with chocolate chips in it.
Chocolate chips?
Things? I think I used to have those.
Yeah. But if they're not, Dobbo's creating them. Because you need the chocolate chips to have that type of aim.
Did you ever put fruit in Weetabix?
No, I don't like fruit.
People that put like
it's just
bananas
sugar,
and
mate. Just sugar.
Okay, I respect that. Oh, Resso getting very close. Finds Rusty, in fact. Just cheers him.
That was a jumping headshot. Oh, Adam denies the plant with a nade. Drops a Molotov as well. The VP.Prodigy guys are wondering how we not got the bomb down.
Hasn't been able to find anything from it yet. Resso does fall. Cypher brought down low. But weaponry, you still have to favor VP.Prodigy. Draken seems very aware of Cheerful. If he stands up, he's a dead man. Draken takes him down. Lumic, 1 versus 3. They sort of tried to break the streak. Cypher is low, in fact. Adam sort of has to do the heavy lifting in this round.
Oh, no, never mind. Cypher, even on that low HP, so clinical, easy headshot into the breach. They find 13. And VP.Prodigy, that was probably the best looking round they've had in quite some time. They enter the B bomb site. They were going to get the bomb down, but the util from Adam, absolutely perfect. Drops a nade on the bomb planter and a Molotov to force them off it.
But Into the Breach are so quick. They're so reactive, so proactive. Just the fact that instantly they use their utility, there's still smokes down, they boost them on Guardian. Find a kill. And you just get man advantage off of that. You do these little things and they do it so quickly. They're not things that are set in a protocol. This is just off the fly. This is how good these players are at reacting. And you've really got to praise Adams calling as well. The rotations have been perfect.
And I feel like they're a very decisive team, regardless of whether the call's, you know, potentially the correct one. Whatever they do it instantly, and that's what gives them their massive advantage. And look at that combo. We saw a Molotov there into the cubby, a nade to force him out, and then Cypher confirms the kill. We'll get taken down here. Lomic does take down Adam as well. Man advantage here now for VP.Prodigy. They've got another opportunity to close this one out. And it will be Draken and Rusty, the two Swedes here to defend. Dobbo making his way as well. We do have a Molotov on Fen 2K. Lovely find there, but Rusty able to get the first. Needs to do a lot more work here. Cypher going to be swinging from above, or in fact it was Dobbo. 1 versus 3 now for Rusty to keep the 16-0 dream alive, and he gets eliminated. Lomic does take him down, and VP.Prodigy, they find their first round on the T side, but the maximum they're going to be able to find is 2, Charlie.
Yeah, and even that round was a bit scrappy, a bit messy. Nothing that convincing in it. It felt more like Into the Breach, just made a few mistakes. Sort of got caught out here or there, but it's just individuals that won that one for VP.Prodigy. I don't think you can really say great strategy. You know, they did a good job just to sort of freeze, slow down the pacing, didn't commit to anything.
Regardless of the outcome of this half, Into the Breach, they put themselves in a perfect position to close out this game. They find 14, it's safe to say it's over, and I feel like it's already over. Don't want to jinx anything, but it's their opponent's map pick. What a great round here, though, from VP.Prodigy. Destined to find their second.
Yeah, maybe needed a bit more of this early on. Tracking is towards A. He's towards Ali, which is a bit of an issue.
It will be Latic.
Double swing.
It's going to be Latic to hold with the orb, but Rusty finds one. The trade comes through. Now it's all on Draken. If there was a player to win it, surely would be Draken. Dodges the flash and he finds one. They're going to be sending it back towards B, but obviously these steps have been heard. Draken going to be rotating himself. Surely he's going to beat them to it. Cheerful will be in the back lines. He sends out a flashbang. Oh, it's just this B fake. A's going to, in fact, be the correct play. And now Draken realizes. VP.Prodigy, they played this one very nicely.
Yeah, it was really tough call to sort of make there from Draken, because they left one low towards A, and then they made the fake and left one low towards a B. So regardless, there was always going to be some sort of fake, some sort of hesitation. So yeah, like you said, really well played there from VP.Prodigy. Shame we haven't really seen more from in this half, but 2 rounds, they sort of give themselves a lifeline, but not a great one.
It's too far gone, surely. It's just really not the start that VP.Prodigy needed in this series, especially on their own map pick.
Gotta think if Pistol goes the round of Into the Breach,
it's over. We're gonna have to see VP.Prodigy force, surely. Oh, they might eco and play overtime, but it's.
I feel like at that point you're forcing.
It's definitely too far
15-2. I don't know if that's possible. We've seen these sort of 13. Sorry, what was it? We've seen like 11-4 comebacks, 12-3s. But they're more on heavily CT-sided favoured maps. I wouldn't really call this one that. Pause has been called. It's actually a technical pause.
Well, that's what my thing says.
It's actually being called because somebody spilt their water.
You can't have spilled water. Cannot have spilled water.
No point crying over spilt water.
Is that the phrase?
That's the saying.
Is it?
That's what it's going to be. Well, spilt milk, isn't it? But...
Spilled milk? Oh, I thought it spilled water.
Oh.
What are you oohing about?
Who's AFK? Not live. We're not live.
There's still some spilt water.
So the water spillers, I don't know who it was. It was 4 or somebody else.
That's Adam.
Yeah, but Adam was the one who typed it, and he said someone spilled water. So it'd be the other one that was AFK.
Oh, so Rusty?
I think I saw Rusty moving.
Rusty, Cypher? I don't know.
It definitely wasn't Dobbo. I saw him bombing around the map.
Dobbo's a bottle cap water drinker. Screws the cap on. No mistake.
He's the no spill cap.
Yeah, no. Oh, what, the no spill cup? You can you can just like hit it and it doesn't spill. Yeah, it's got like suction on the bottom.
I feel like every actual water bottle I've had has just leaked tremendously.
That's probably because you drop it.
This could be it. Second half has started. 4 players with armor. Adam is invested in a smoke and a Molotov.
Dobbo doing his best little Foon impression there. Dobbo does have the bomb on his back, so surely going to be this B split here. Just leaving Dobbo to come up the stairs on his own. Not too sure why you're inspecting those, Lomic. The nicest of skins. It is going to be this aggression now towards B. Oh, but Resol has spotted one. Can just get the kill and back away. That is the intent. Nice from Draken. He does find one, but Latic with the trade. 3 versus 4 now. Look how deep Cypher is. Oh, and Cypher with a lovely double. 2 versus 2 now, but the bomb has been dropped, and it's thoroughly under the control of the VP.Prodigy players. They are just sticking together here. And I like that smoke. Potentially a little too early, though, because into the breach, they've got time to work with here.
And just waiting out. I like this. Just biding their time. There's no rush. Issue is Adam was the one who fell first, and his util was there. So I do believe that was actually Adam's smoke.
That is unfortunate. Oh, but it doesn't matter. It can be Adam's smoke. Cypher and Rusty both getting a killer piece. Into the breach, they find 14. And Charlie, potentially, let's just look to Inferno, because I feel like into the breach, they're just going to close this out.
You've got to think VP.Prodigy might even be having to do that as well. Just sort of try to mentally reset, because this has been domination. It's been on your own map pick. Inferno at least is a map that everybody plays, and we know VP.Prodigy have played it a decent amount in the past as well, so it's not exactly going to be a surprise playing Inferno for them. So hopefully for VP.Prodigy, they can just try to mentally reset.
Oh, Charlie.
I mean, a comeback would be unbelievable, but this force point isn't really giving me positive vibes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, VP.Prodigy have opted to force in this one. A real risk, and oh, Cypher gets the kill, does a lot of damage. Adam able to take down Resol. Dobbo going to be pushing through. Just going to drop the smoke here.
They're both 3 HP, Fred. Rusty finds the first, the nade surely finding the second. Yep. Just dunks on down, Fed 2k. Final player to fall 15-2.
Yeah, and that's over. They're going to have really weak weapons to wield. I doubt VP.Prodigy are going to have a chance whatsoever at this one. I think just have some fun. Bring out some Mag 7s. Bring out some Novas. Maybe a Negev. Because I feel like this one's too far gone.
The thing that's going to be interesting, I know that when we were doing our pick'ems for the SCL Twitter, and we've sort of given our little bios on our opinions, I sort of said, I mean, I favoured Into the Breach to win the Challanger division, and I said I think the only team that can best them is Iron Branch. Iron Branch are out. They lost to Hotu in, let's be honest, a pretty massive upset.
Oh, it was a 2-0.
This is going to be strange. This is going to be interesting. I don't know who's going to be able to best Into the Breach, especially if they continue to look like this. Because VP.Prodigy, yes, they haven't had a great season this year, or this season, sorry, but the last 2 seasons, they've looked good. They've looked like a strong team. finalists and semi-finalists in previous seasons. This could be them getting knocked out in the quarters. This is pure domination from Into the Breach, and they're looking at their peak form.
Yeah, and it's already over. 16-2, 18 rounds of play, Charlie. That's all it took for Into the Breach to close it out. And obviously, Inferno, their map pick will be on the cards after. But any final remarks from you before we go into a short little break?
I mean, I'm trying to think of something I can say to give advice to other teams.
Don't play against Into the Breach. You lose.
There's no safe map, guys.
There's nothing. Just what you do is you postpone the match as far back as possible, and then you can at least prolong the suffering. Or not prolong.
Well, maybe just try to get the match as soon as possible then.
True. End the suffering. And then
Into the Breach, they are looking unreal. This is probably one of the best I've seen Into the Breach, and we've seen a lot of Into the Breach, and this is unbelievable.
It's absolutely crazy. But as I mentioned before, we are just going to be jumping to a short break, and then we will be going to Inferno, obviously Into the Breach's map pick. Hello, hello there, guys. Welcome back. We are going to be jumping pretty much straight into this next one. Obviously, we mentioned it is Into the Breach's map pick, so you've got to favour them, but I don't really have much time to talk. I was a little bit... it kind of caught me out how quickly they went into this one, but that is a great opening pick there from Draken. A wonderful way to find that man advantage here on the pistol.
Spotted towards New Box, and Dark's just exposed himself as well now, but the trades are coming through. 3 versus 3. I think all that remains towards this B site. In fact, they're backing away, but there is a play towards Banana. Are they going to expect it? The Julie's just spamming, and Cheerful, with just the body spam, finds a double.
Dobbo, he's made his position known. Fen 2K. Oh, that is so dicey, but Latic will take him down. I got very scary there.
Yeah, really caught off by Cheerful towards Banana. Just spamming the Julies. Making it as tough as possible for him to get killed. Are you a fan of the Julies?
I like the idea of the Julies. I don't think I can use them that well. Which is interesting because it seems like a perfect weapon for me. Don't need to aim, just spam away.
Yeah, I quite like the Julies, but I'm very iffy with them.
Draken spamming away through that smoke with the Deagle.
This looks like a tough round for Into the Breach to be able to close out now. 3 versus 5, 2 Deagles and the Tech 9 remaining.
Definitely not the greatest of force buys that we've seen from ITB. Still, they've looked so dominant this series so far. And realistically, it doesn't really matter if they lose the opening rounds. I feel like ITB is certainly going to dominate.
There's going to be an eco hit this one. VP.Prodigy, I'm going to make sure they humble them a bit. They've already found the same amount of rounds in this that they did on Vertigo.
We've only had 2 rounds of play.
Yeah, it shows how dominant Vertigo really was.
It's ridiculous to think just off the pistol round, VP.Prodigy are going to find more in this than they did before. And oh, just gifting a kill to Adam, gifting him an MP9 as well. A weapon that we see Adam consistently wielding.
Maybe drop that over to Draken, might be the play.
Maybe. I don't know. I think Adam loves the MP9, and realistically, regardless of HP, if there was a player I'd want to use the MP9 on my team, probably would be Adam. Cypher tapping away here, does find one. It's been spotted here. Oh, Lomic's got that information. We'll drop the smoke. Be able to fall back here.
Smart from Into the Breach there, choosing not to push through the smoke.
Well, in a 5v3, there's no need to.
Yeah, unarmored. They could lose so many players for the sort of same amount. Oh, the flashes come in. Cypher gets the kill. This is all going wrong from VP.Prodigy. Latic was blinded by that. Sorry, Lomic was blinded by that.
The flash a little too deep. Rusty progressing just before the long smoke coming through. The bomb can go down. Cheerful and Latic all that remain here. Great find there from Cheerful. Brings it to a very close affair, but Dobbo with the MP9 does take down Cheerful. 1 versus 2 now for Latic. Does have a kit and a Molotov and very fast towards brackets. Steps surely have been heard though. I like the setup. A great little crunch that Into the Breach are going to be running. Oh, and I love that from Adam. He's low HP. Just takes the attention away and will eventually get taken down now. Latic with very little time to work with. He's checked all these corners. He surely knows the last player's towards long, but he's got very limited time. Just going to stick the bomb here. And that's an easy find for Dobbo. And that was a half by a bare bones investment from Into the Breach. Deagles and a P250 and they've won it.
I don't even know if you call that half. That's just an eco. Wasn't any armor on any of the players. And they somehow made that one work. Great effort from Cheerful. Found 3 kills. Was a 5 versus 2. He did at least bring it close. But yeah, that's a round that should never be going the way of Into the Breach. You can see the sort of limitations of VP.Prodigy. 3 for masses. Util's not perfect. And one of the M4s gets shut down by Draken instantly.
Now the FAMASs will aggress, but Adam will take down Lomic. Going to be swinging into Result as well and eliminates him too. And straight away here, 3 versus 1. Cheerful's made his position known towards apartments. The bomb can just go down towards B. Oh, double smoke there.
I don't think it's going to matter. I think Cheerful's just going to try to keep hold of this M4. I think the round's already done.
Into the breach. That's a great round from them. I love that early aggression towards middle. Finding that opening pick, and then we saw Adam come alive towards B. VP.Prodigy, they really need to start getting some rounds on the board. They really need to start besting their opponents here on these full buys, because realistically, Into the Breach, they're looking to close this out 2-0. They're on their map pick, Inferno being one of their strongest maps. So you can clearly see why VP.Prodigy need to start stepping up, because there's no more games. This could be their potential last game of the season. And I feel like when facing off against Into the Breach, I feel like your time in the server, your time in the season is only numbered. Wonder what VP.Prodigy are going to do here. Potentially we'll see Cheerful drop over a set of Julies, maybe a Deagle. Might just be searching to save this M4 in the next. But the money really isn't perfect for VP.Prodigy. We're going to see some limitations in the next from them. Cheerful getting very aggressive, and that is wonderful to see there from Cheerful. Aggressing towards Banana, finding that opening pick, and giving them a man advantage in this one. But we need to see some other individuals. It has just been Cheerful and Latic so far.
Just the USPs around Cheerful is going to still make it so challenging. Into the Breach do decide just to head towards B. Will be a good call. Only Result's there waiting.
It's time, and Result, USP no armor, certainly going to struggle in this one.
Cheerful spotted Dobbo, does take him down. It's a weapon that can get retrieved.
I like this boost hit. A great way to find these frags towards CT. All players residing towards the back of the bomb site here. Oh, and Cheerful perfectly timed. 2 versus 4 here. Things are going to go wrong for Into the Breach. Cypher gets one, and Rusty's all that remains. They do have enough time for the defuse as well. So VP.Prodigy, they retain the lead here.
They win an eco of their own. Just that one saved M4. USPs all around it. Into the Breach still can buy. Big performance from Cheerful once again, though. I think he found 3 kills in that one.
Certainly utilizing that save weapon to a great extent. Nice nade there. Lomic dropped down to 64 HP already. Cypher dropped down to 48. Return fire of the HEs. They're setting up for the flash. Oh, the players running onto one another. Resol does find one. The smoke will fade, and this is where Resol can engage, but he runs out of ammo, and Dobbo with a nice double brings it to this 3 versus 3. They can progress once the Molotov fades, but they're waiting for another player here towards B.
Latic's here with the AWP. Draken posted on the angle, but still gets found. can just shift through this smoke. I like that they gamble and opt to shift it. Just really limiting any sort of information that VP.Prodigy can get. There's an avenue and they can head towards CT.
Oh, the AWP shot fired off from Lattic. He's got the information of these two players aggressing. They're searching the bomb site here. A lot of util being used, but they need to be aware of this flank, and Dobbo finally spots it. Does find one, but that has been the bomb dropped. Final player towards CT. It's all on Rusty. 1 versus 2 now. The Molotov going to force him forward. He does, in fact, progress back through it, so he has retrieved the bomb. Simple shot there from Lattic and VP.Prodigy. They double down. They string these rounds together.
Into the Breach's money is now broken. It's going to have to be an eco from them. Surely not another eco victory can be on the cards.
Yeah, definitely not. I feel like we've seen quite a lot this season so far. Surely not again. Oh, look at the damage on this nade.
Oh! The double nade there. Lomic's not complaining, finding the kills, and Adam soon to join his fallen teammates. 5-2.
So much damage on the util there.
Yeah, Resso and Lomic, the players who threw the nades. 242 util damage and 263.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Majority would just be in that round alone.
And 2K sending the util over. Doing a little bit of damage to the player's second mid. But VP.Prodigy, they look good here on Inferno. Potentially they pick Vertigo as somewhat of a punish pick, or maybe they just weren't prepared for the dominance of Into the Breach, but potentially VP.Prodigy have just warmed into this series now. But I feel like you still have to favour Into the Breach here.
This long wrap. Doorway does fall. Cypher soon to follow. Adam. They're all getting chipped away by Cheerful. It's Cheerful again, Fred. Time and time again. He's doing it all.
Draken towards short was searching for something, but might lose his life here as Resso is in the back lines. Oh, and Rusty will be the one to fall. It's all on Draken. Not a single point of damage has been dealt to the VP.Prodigy side here. Really not a great start here for Into the Breach.
Yeah, looked good until that round with sort of Cheerful's M4 and the remaining of the team having USPs. Really started to crumble from them.
We're going to need to see a change of pace here, and I feel like the call from Adam could be the right one. They're bringing out the Deagles, but Draken operating as this hero AK. Obviously, it was the one saved across, but I feel like can still work out well. Sometimes you see teams forcing around these weaker weapons, but no. Adam just let Draken be on somewhat of a weaker weapon, but he's done a great job in this one. 2 kills going the way of ITB, and they're looking for a third, and Rusty eliminates Lattic on the AWP. You never favour the Deagle in that altercation, but when Rusty's the one wielding it.
Rusty's a menace with the Deagle. We've seen it time and time again. He's a really sort of a scary player to face when he's got just that sort of hand cannon.
It's like the Terminator with that weapon.
I mean, just the individuals in general in this lobby are always going to be unbelievable with the Deagle, but Rusty's someone who I'm looking at and thinking, yeah, if he's got it, you never know what's happening.
Yeah, really like no other in the server. Time and time again, we've seen Rusty dominate with the Deagle. And he's had a very slow start to this one. Currently 2 and 7. That kill there will double his overall kills, but sometimes that's all you need. It's clear that he's still got the confidence. He's peeking into the AWP with a deagle. Here's that crisp headshot, and maybe that's just what he needed to get his mojo back. Cypher, will he fall to the bomb here? It's definitely going to be low. 10 HP.
VP.Prodigy's money's still in a decent place. They should be able to get a buy in the next round as well. Cheerful, just going for the spam. I do like that spam, but I feel like it rarely connects.
But when it does, you can see it do a lot of damage. It's a little bit of a risk, but you're certainly going to be overwhelming your opponents.
Bit of a slow round here. Approaching the minute mark. Sort of no kills found on either side. Flash is coming in, but Draken just with a timing shot takes down Resso. Latic holding the angle with the orb. The flash is good, but he got a timing shot of his own.
It just replicates Draken's success.
These flashbangs on these AWPers.
Doesn't really matter.
Aren't doing much.
I think they're just peeking at the kind of the timing without the flash. You know, they're peeking at the perfect time with the flash, but when you're being held by the AWP, they're always going to take a pot shot. 4 versus 4 now. Just this lonesome defender here towards B. It is Lomic. We'll drop a Molotov on the bomb. Can still go down. Draken posted up towards Banana. Cheerful. Surely going to get taken down here. Easy shot for Draken.
Flash is good onto Adam. Has to be wary of CT, but takes the fight onto Coffins.
And lovely swing there from Dobbo. Just peeks behind the pillar. And now we're going to see Draken getting very aggressive here. He's close with the AWP. And an easy no-scope there for Draken and into the breach. They find their 4th round here. They've slowly brought themselves back into it. Just those 2 rounds alone. You can clearly see the confidence is looking good. I think we're going to see Latic. Ooh, I wonder what Latic does here. Either brings out the AWP and gives Cheerful a weak weapon. And there we have it. We've got an MP9 and a FAMAS in play. But if Into the Breach are victorious in this round, they will level things up, as it should just be an eco from VP.Prodigy in the next.
These nades do a lot of damage to Adam. Bring him down to 36 points of health. Into the Breach has sort of been leaning a bit more towards the B site. Seems like they haven't really found the same success towards A.
It's interesting. I feel like Fun is a map where you do see a lot of teams leaning towards that B-bomb side, but if you can perfect that A-take, that's when you really can dominate. But Lomic with a lovely triple, going to be searching for more here. Does get taken down by Rusty, but both Adam and Rusty have been chipped down massively here. They might just send it back towards A, just leave Rusty to fake. But Adam, in fact, going to be sending Rusty in. Flashes do come through. Ooh, but Result will eliminate him. I think Rusty was going to try and go through the CT smoke and surprise their opponents. But VP.Prodigy, they take the round. They find 7.
Yeah, important round there from VP.Prodigy. Don't want to let Into the Breach sort of find their footing once again. Half still hasn't been won though. Still up in the air.
So anyone's game. I feel like VP.Prodigy, though, they've got a great opportunity and one that they really need to take. They've got a 3-round lead here. And if they can find this one, realistically, they put themselves in a great position. But I love this aggression from ITB. Rusty with a lovely double and Cypher to find Fen 2K. And instantly into the breach, they return fire. And it is on that A-bomb site.
And within about a matter of about 4 or 5 seconds, the round's done. Just that burst towards short is really sort of left a thorn in VP.Prodigy's side. These 2 players towards coffins, planning on saving. Cypher gonna be dunking the molly. Does get found. Wrestle has been chipped down a bit though. How many of Into the Breach want to hunt this?
Seems though they're gonna throw everything at it. You have another Molotov on Adam. Nice from Adam. Now, the final player being Lomic. He's getting crunched in on the Molotov. Surely going to force him out in the open, but he does get taken down by Adam's molly. Those 2 saving players, they did find a lot of kills, but I feel like it was worth it there from ITB. They're going to get a buy in the next regardless. Let's take everything out of the hands of our opponents.
I mean, what's that? Oh, they've actually opted for a force here. So, basically, you just got to look at this buy and add 2 more M4s. It would be similar to that. Obviously, there would be significantly more util because VP.Prodigy would have been dropping over weapons, so people wouldn't need to reinvest in their own, and they could just sort of buy utility instead. So, yeah, taking out those weapons significantly weakened this buy from VP.Prodigy, but this is really Into the Breach's chance to get back into this. They win this round. They're primed for success, but Latic with the deagle with a double.
Yeah, lovely double there from Latic. We're just going to drop the smoke here. Feel like we're still going to be seeing ITB ending towards A. We got a player on balcony. This flash should be good. Should blind absolutely everyone. A secondary one to send towards the balcony player, but Rusty able to find one. Cheerful on the balcony. Will take down Adam. And it's all on Dobbo now. 1 versus 3. Does get taken down by Lomic from Library. And VP.Prodigy, even with those weaker weapons, they find success and now they take the half.
Yeah, util's a bit lackluster there for VP.Prodigy, so Into the Breach probably should have played it a bit slower. Maybe even tried to end towards B. Just because there's no real counter util that VP.Prodigy could use. Just this Deagle and these 4 Glocks. Glocks molly there.
Fortunate. As this round plays out, we just see Wrestle doing a great job there.
Final round. Shouldn't really be too many limitations, I say that. Into the Breach. Util's far from perfect. Even with Cypher opting for a Galil.
Oh, nice find from Lomic early on. It's so clear to see here that VP.Prodigy, they finally come alive and they've understood the importance of this one. No second chances. They have to win it. They've done a great job so far.
Dobbo does bait out the AWP shot. Cypher has been tagged down low though.
Nice find from Rusty.
Smoke towards the library. I think they're going to try to isolate Cheerful and Pit. Cheerful's been a player who's looked sublime.
Nice from Cheerful. Does find one. The nade should do a little bit of damage. Molly comes through as well. Cheerful just waiting on the edge of the smoke. Does find one more before he falls. Great find from Draken. Information onto Lomic now. And this round's important from ITB. If they can win it, puts them just 3 away from their opponents. And that's a lovely one tap there from Rusty. I mentioned a couple rounds ago, Rusty was 2-7. He's ended the half 10-11, and it clearly just goes to show that all it takes is one nice shot there with the Deagle, and that's where you really can come alive.
Yeah, 9-6. It's not exactly...
It's not crazy.
It's not exactly a surprise. Yeah, it's not massively surprising. Obviously, I think Inferno's in a strange spot right now where it's tough to sort of know the side in. I think it sort of just depends on the team. And I think from what we've seen, especially on sort of the CT side, Adam loves to play towards Banana there. So I do think I'd favour Into the Breach as a CT-sided Inferno team. So potentially they'll be moving on to their stronger side in this half.
Yeah, I feel like the second we see Adam towards Banana, that's when things get a little bit scary. Obviously, we saw some nice aggression from VP.Prodigy on their CT side, but I feel like no team does it better than ITB.
Pissed around. If Into the Breach can win this, they can level things up. If VP.Prodigy can take this one, they can extend their lead. Be within fingertips. Oh, can bring us to a third map.
And look at that, the Julies from Adam. Nice opening pick here.
Oh, look at these players. Charging towards App. Cypher gonna hear this all. Finds nothing and Draken gets dinged down as well. Latic finds Dobbo. This is starting to crumble here from Into the Breach. This is looking a bit more like the VP.Prodigy we used to. Remaining players just going to be saving their armor, which makes me think we're probably going to see a force in the next round. If these guys are saving their armor, they're going to want to save something.
Yeah, most definitely. Adam hasn't taken any damage, so can just invest in... I think we're going to be seeing an MP9, head armor, and some util
damage
being
has been taken. That's the bomb radius view.
Wait, does the bomb damage affect armor?
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
Basically anything affects armor.
Except if...
Unless you get shot on the legs.
Oh, really? I was going to say, unless if he got shot in the head, because he doesn't have head armor.
Either way, yeah.
The legs or the
head. Head or legs?
Add a little either or. I'll get shot in the legs. I really want to die. Oh! Nice molly there from Lome. Bit of NA util that.
Yeah, the buys actually reasonably similar between both teams. Obviously, util massively favouring VP.Prodigy, but in terms of the weaponry, you can pretty easily compare the FAMAS to the Glils, and the MP9 to one of the Macs, and in the right hands, the Deagle arguably could be better than the Mac. Would you go Mac or Deagle? You got the choice.
It's tough. What? How much money have I got to work with? Is
Enough
it
for a Mac or a Deagle?
No, because... So, Mac 10 no util?
No util on either. Just gun.
Are we saying on Inferno?
In general.
No, that changes everything. On every other map I'd go Deagle. On Inferno I'd go Mac 10.
Okay.
I feel like I've been watching so much of Adam's gameplay. I just want to be like him. We'll be able to find one.
Yeah, but does fall 2 plays towards Banana. These are both the FAMASes. They just gonna be saving. Although heading towards T-spawn certainly looks like it. VP.Prodigy will find 11. And I have to be the eco from Into the Breach as well. Should be able to find 12. They can start to take quite a nice lead.
Yeah, and that's quite a scary thought here for Into the Breach, especially because they did look so dominant on their opponent's map pick. But this is what we kind of mentioned about Inferno. It's a map that it's kind of played and known by all. If you select it, there's a real chance that your opponents can show some dominance. Obviously, into the breach, they're not out of it yet. They still can close it out. But potentially, we expected a little bit more from them. As you mentioned, just going to be this kind of eco around the FAMASs. We do see Rusty on a Deagle, so Rusty's a player that you can count to have some impact in this one. But now the MP9 mowing down these defenders here. Dobbo does find one. Keeps it a level playing field.
Actually, his Dobbo's only 7 HP, so it might be worth juggling over these weapons.
Obviously, Draken doesn't have armor. Still going to be a problem on 7 HP, but not perfect.
You've got to think, Dobbo will die in 1 hit regardless. So the armor's not really going to make a difference at that point.
It's very true.
And at least if Draken's got some good positioning, he might be able to find one. Gamble towards 8.
Perfect call, really. But the wrong bomb site. I love a gamble. I feel like into the breach time and time again we see them opt for a gamble, but this time not worked out so well for them. A lot of util being sent here. No movement. Oh, they might be going back towards A now.
They could cast him out mid.
I don't think... Oh, this is so unfortunate. Cheerful. He's called that A's completely clear, but definitely didn't get the timing. And now we're going to be seeing Fen2k try and run it up Banana. Oh, and Draken doing a little bit of damage, but not quite enough. Very minimal time remaining, but the bomb can go down here towards B. And now it's just going to be a bit of a guessing game.
Yeah, this is definitely up in the air. Everybody can have a weapon. They can have guns to play with. No util for VP.Prodigy. It is planted for CT. They've got quite a nice crossfire going on.
One player's crossed, and look at that. Completely diverted the attention away from Fen2k. It's now all on Draken. Just going to be saving this AK into the next. Oh, he might go hunting here. Oh, I love that from Draken. So cheeky. Could cost him his life, though. The bomb is about to blow up. No, it's fine.
Whoa.
Oh, he gets another one as well. I thought he'd get caught out by Cheerful there, but in fact, Draken's the one to find the kill.
The interesting thing is, I think if they just bombed through that smoke towards Banana instantly, I think they would have won the round.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's a real risk planting the bomb there. I think due to the fact they didn't hear any footsteps running through the smoke behind. And obviously they didn't actually know the other player was towards A.
Obviously that was a minimal investment there from Into the Breach, but Resol flashed in there. Does take down Adam, but Dobbo with the quick trade. Dobbo has been tagged down to 44. But VP.Prodigy, if they find this one, this is where they certainly could be looking for that final map. And obviously it is Nuke. A map that we've seen both of these teams perfect.
Money isn't great in either of the team's reserve. A very crucial round. Draken does find one. Knows better. Not peek into Latix Orb.
Yeah, but Dobbo, he's going to be getting a little bit hungry towards Banana. Oh, and Lomic, you've been feeding him. Dobbo finds another. They're worried about that potential CT wrap. And I like that. Into Breach are the type of team that, you know, we had Draken towards Library, but he was still questioning. There is, even if it's maybe a 5% chance, there's still a chance of a wrap. Oh, and even after their hyper focus, their awareness here, he's still giving away a pick towards CT. Great find from Rusty, and it's just Latic remaining.
Bombing is back. Does get found. Don't believe the AWP's going to be able to be retrieved.
Oh, Rusty does just get him.
Does.
Yeah, lucky that. This is the first eco we've seen from VP.Prodigy in quite some time here.
And they've got to force it.
They've
only on 1 loss bonus. 2 of the players couldn't have bought in the next. They've got to fully invest.
This
could obviously going to be saving for the AWP, but yeah, this could sort of be the comeback story, I suppose. 12-9 if they do win both the rounds.
Would be absolutely devastating though for Into the Breach to fall to these weaker weapons. Obviously, this is a very important round though, and I feel like this is where we're going to be seeing Adam not just calling, but also getting aggressive. And it's nice to see that Adam's finally poking towards Banana in that aggressive manner that we always see him. Straight away, telling Dobbo, get on your bike, mate. Rotate back towards A. I've got B on lock. This is my bomb site for a reason. Why don't you help the fellas on A?
Adam's one of the players that it can be sort of last chance saloon, last round of the game, and he's still pushing that Banana. Doesn't matter the stakes. I mean, that's something that I feel like not many people have sort of the guts to do, the bravery on Adam, because it can really catch out teams because they're like, oh, surely they're never going to do that on a round like this, and time and time again, it always works out.
I feel as well, Adam, I feel like he's in a position where he's, you know, he can take the aggression Banana. If he dies, he's still got full faith in the remaining 4. He knows that, you know, this situation's happened before. Adam's died early, and consistently we still see the rest of the ITB players close out the round. So I feel like Adam has a little bit of freedom here, just because, as we mentioned, the individuals on this Into the Breach side are just absolutely so strong.
Latic actually saved money for the AWP, but he won't be able to get the AWP unless he glass cannons. So if he, so ideally Into the Breach, you have to make sure he doesn't find a kill. He's already gone down, so that's not going to happen. Cheerful does get found by Dobbo in the end, losing 1 player. Cheerful, what is he going to do here? Is he going to, sorry, Latic, is he going to go for a glass cannon? Because he did save for that AWP.
I think that's what really kind of puts the difference between teams. And there we have it. Latic really showing the difference. You know what? I'm confident on my big green. I'm bringing it out, and I'm showing dominance here.
Inferno is a scary map to glass cannon do, though.
Nades, yeah.
It's just typically the util damage on Inferno is always unbelievable. That is not a nice start there. As Dragon gets tagged down to 39 HP. And Cypher falls. No armor needed for that one.
Well, that's karma there. You knife Draken, you're going to fall to an AWP. And I love this from Result. Aggressing finds Adam. Instantly 5 versus 3 here for VP.Prodigy.
Adam's actually been caught out a couple of times by people running through the smokes. Normally it's him doing it, maybe having a bit of karma against him. Result finding 3 and Draken, the player, got knifed. He's in the 1 versus 4 to try to win it.
Completely alone. He is currently being held by Latic as well. And an easy shot from the unarmored AWP. The glass cannon certainly firing on all cylinders as he gets a double in that one. And VP.Prodigy, they find 13. 3 away from closing out Inferno, and Nuke will be on the cards after. Potentially we were singing the praises of this ITB side a little too early on, and also overlooking VP.Prodigy because they've done absolutely amazingly here on Inferno. It's not all over yet, but they are looking primed to take this one. I love it from Draken.
Have enough to buy. Aggressive play from Draken is what they needed. Finding an avenue into this. Lomik does get found, trying to get too aggressive there. He caught Adam out a couple of times, along with Result, but 3rd time is not the charm.
But I love that from Draken. I feel like, you know, in the last couple of series, obviously Vertigo was so dominant, he didn't really have the opportunity to start things off, especially on the AWP, but he knows he needs to start taking some aggression. I love that peek towards second mid, completely catching out Fen2K.
2-man advantage now for Into the Breach. The nade doesn't do too much damage. There's a bit of chip damage to Result.
A lot less than I initially thought. Cypher, I love this angle. It's a little bit too out in the open for you to kind of instantly check it. I feel like your pre-aim's certainly not going to be there. Cheerful making quite a lot of noise here. We'll send the flash towards short. The Molotovs will force Into the Breach back, though. With a 2-man advantage, ITB, they don't need to take this aggression because they understand, you know what, we kind of were playing absolutely perfect Counter-Strike on Vertigo, but VP.Prodigy, we potentially did not give them the respect they deserve, and I love that from Dobbo, but Latic still finds him. 2 versus 3 now. Nice spam though. Latic dropped down to 25 HP. Will just try and get himself out of harm's way. Has resided towards this new box position, but Rusty can just drop a smoke, and that's when Latic will be completely isolated.
The bomb's not planted for him as well.
So many flashbangs. The first going to be coming over Ruins. Smoke towards new box. Flash will come over. Ooh, and this is tough. The time's ticking away. It's all on Latic. He's been spotted. They can just swing together, but he's only ever going to find one. And Rusty with a kit will win the round, and into the breach. They secure double digits. 3 away from their opponents now.
Yes, it's not the cleanest round. A teammate throw from into the breach. And these points, you don't need clean rounds. You just need rounds on the board. Enough money to get a buyout from into the breach. Adam wants to go find his trusty MP9. Oh, he's got an M4 out somewhere.
Oh, he upgraded it. He pack-a-punched it. MP9 goes to M4 these days.
Isn't pack-a-punch 5k?
It is. Yeah, but that's why he's got no money. That's why he's got no money.
He didn't have 5k to start the round.
No, they bank transferred it.
Okay.
We're living in 2022 now, Charlie. You just switch to Overpass,
I
go
wonder
into
if
bank.
that ever sort of be added. Obviously, you can
I think
drop
that
later now.
I think that would ruin CS, I'll be honest.
I do think it would as well.
Yeah, you just drop
Imagine pistol rounds.
Yeah, you drop 800.
You got yourself an AK.
Yeah, an AK on pistol. But then everyone else has got nothing, but realistically, it's a
Yeah,
clock.
got USBs.
You can get AWP. You can get an AWP on the pistol round. No, you can't. My maths is awful.
Yeah, what are you on about? You can get AK and armor. And I think someone else can get armor as well. And then you just got AKs and USPs. Or maybe not USPs with an AK. Maybe Glocks with an AK. But still. Draken holding towards Arch. Nade comes out. His nades aren't properly hitting their mark. He's rotating through to library. Dobbo trying to spam, trying to connect something.
It's going to be this A hit here. Cypher has somewhat of a gap to work with, and he takes down Lomic. Man advantage here for Into the Breach. And no utility for VP.Prodigy to work with. And Draken, he fires off that all-important AWP shot towards short. We do have a player just tucked away outside library. He could take down Draken, and he certainly does. Cypher does engage. Finds Cheerful. He's going to need to swing to help Rusty on the bomb site. But they've still got the man advantage here. The bomb has been dropped, and Rusty tasked with finding this player. Fen2k eliminates Cypher. Minimal time remaining, and it's all on the in-game leader, all on Adam. Needs to step up here, finds the first, and he gets the second, and a great clutch there from Adam. Keeps Into the Breach in their winning streak, and VP.Prodigy, although they put up numbers there, although they battled valiantly in that 2 versus 3, it wasn't enough, and facing off against the IGL here for Into the Breach, they couldn't take him down.
Yeah, as soon as Adam found the first shot, you saw Latic solo HP, going to be very difficult. This game's really heating up. It's going to be a real photo finish.
Just this half by now for VP.Prodigy. So we can see Into the Breach get themselves 1 round away from their opponents, but they do need to win this one. We see time and time again, we've seen these weaker weapons work out. Draken, nice tag there. Smoke will land. Dobbo in a great position here towards Banana. We'll send the nade. I think we're going to be seeing a flash through here. Util coming over for VP.Prodigy. Now they're slowly going to be aggressing towards brackets. And once again, Adam left on his lonesome here towards Banana. Oh, and he's in the backlines. That's the bomb. That is devastating. Just going to halt the attack, halt the aggression.
But it always leaves him thinking, oh, Adam can come in behind here. Oh, the molly onto Dobbo. He's a dead man.
Oh,
Swings out, but
not
he
yet.
can actually probably clear him. That is, they did all the hard work. They just didn't finish off the easy kill. Oh, and it's all on Latic. Tucked in the corner. A bit cheeky there. Cypher hasn't cleared him. Back to back at that point.
Adam's probably screaming, behind you, behind! Doesn't even matter though. Adam keeping Cypher alive there. The M4 was retrieved But yeah, I like how Dobbo played that. Once the Molotov came through, just took his time. He knew he was going to die to the molly, but if Dobbo's going down, he's taking people with him, and he found 2 kills and did the damage for the 3rd as well.
Yeah, I wondered if we were going to see a flash from Draken, but maybe just everything a bit too slow communicating. Dobbo was like, I'm going down, hopefully I can find something, and in fact, no one was looking at him. He did his job and more. But 1 round in it now. VP.Prodigy had a hefty lead. Quickly, that's gone away. It was 12-6 at one point.
Into the breach, they brought themselves back into this one, and Cypher towards Boiler in a great position. Oh, he swings on through, and he finds the bomb carrier once again into the breach. They've taken down the bomb carrier, and they've left VP.Prodigy really struggling here. And Cypher able to just back away towards apartments. That is where Draken is situated. And now Result torn between 2 ways, but he needs to be worried about Library as the smoke fades, Rusty engages. And 2 versus 4 now into the breach. They can level things up and maybe even find the lead. And Cypher's been baited in perfectly. Draken will lose his life in the process, but I don't think he's going to be too disappointed. You know what, if we get the round win, I'm happy to die.
A lot of isolated fights here, though, from Latic. He does find the first. What site's he going to choose? Picked up the M4. He's leaning towards B. That is where Dobbo lies in wait. Tucked in towards Dark. Just smoking off ruins. Wants nothing to do with that. 30 seconds on the clock. He's making his presence very known. I'm surprised Cypher isn't rotating. And Dobbo swings out. He dies instantly. Cypher. All up to him now to level things up. VP.Prodigy. They've done so much work here, but started to crumble. Latic. He does it all by himself. The Orber can do it with whatever weapon in 14-12. VP.Prodigy 2 rounds away from bringing us to a 3rd map.
That is absolutely ridiculous. That was a 1 versus 3. We really needed to see Into the Breach play that quite cautiously and carefully, but Dobbo didn't even need to peek. Could have just held his ground, but opted against it. We saw that slow rotation come through from Cypher, and now ITB questioning as to how they couldn't close that out. That was a 1 versus 3 there, but as you mentioned, as you pointed out perfectly, so many individual fights there, gifted to the Orpa, and even after switching to the M4, did work out. We see a force buy here from ITB, and this is do or die. If they lose this round, it could be over, but the double nade towards Logs. Straight away, Lome gets dropped down very low. He does get found by Dobbo. The spam will come through here. He does fall to the Molotov, but Dobbo runs out of ammo. It seemed perfect there. They should have got man advantage off the back of that.
Yeah, Rusty's smoke is going to deny any control, though. So he can sort of just solo towards B, while Cypher and Draken can cause some mayhem towards A. We do see Cheerful in Boiler. He was really the only player doing anything on Vertigo.
The position here of Cypher might get overlooked. Just playing under porch, jiggling ever so often. Oh, and look at Draken's aggression towards apartments. Could catch out the player in Boiler. Does find Cheerful. And now they're aware that it might be this B play. As you mentioned, just Rusty to defend.
He needs at least 1.
There's no more
utility on Into the Breach. If he goes down untraded, just the util alone on VP.Prodigy, he might be able to sort of just force Into the Breach into a save, or force them into a really unwinnable situation.
Yeah, the problem here is they're playing contact, but the boost is perfect. Oh, it wasn't even the boost, it was the jump. Rusty's movement got him up there. 1 versus 2 now for Fen2k. And Into the Breach. They just need to play this one passively, play it together. Fen2k aware of the banana aggression, and he's been gifted an easy 1v1 once again. Into the Breach, playing these clutches, isolated, and Draken, he's got the information, will just tap on the bomb. Util will come through, dodges the flashbang, and that's great from Draken. An important clutch, potentially series defining here, as it keeps Into the Breach alive in this one. No match point found from VP.Prodigy. And look at the money.
Nice VP.Prodigy getting a buy as well. I mean, a couple of their players can invest, but realistically, they've got to half buy it. We could be leveled up again, Fred. But the money from either team is really dicey. Oh, we are going to see a force.
This could be the play or the misplay of the day. Realistically,
yeah, they could be giving up 15 here. They could be giving up overtime.
But at the same time,
that I think this was 12-6 in favor of VP.Prodigy. Into the Breach finding OT first is unbelievable. Oh, this surely... this is really tense here.
We mentioned that there wasn't much of a storyline in the last because of the dominance from Into the Breach, but this is probably the best story we've seen so far this season. Oh, and Dobbo somehow able to find one, but will go down to Wrestle. It is going to be this B aggression. VP.Prodigy, they've got the man advantage. They're going to send the flashbangs in. Yuta will come over. Oh, and look at that. Wrestle finds another 4 versus 2 here. We mentioned how it could be play of the day, but really not working out too well. Rusty getting tagged down here. Going to be searching for this kill. 2 versus 4. Surely Into the Breach have to go for this one. Obviously, the money's not perfect and in a hefty disadvantage. Oh, this is such an awful situation that ITB are in now. Cypher just going to have to save.
Draken had a Molotov. He could have just thrown that towards Banana, denied anything, but instead, VP.Prodigy went contact. They flashed in and found Draken. Really costly. One Molotov could have really changed how this round went. But gonna have to be a save from Cypher. Looking for this kill on Wrestle. Will find it, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to get away with the AK.
Charlie, this
match
could be
point
it.
Found.
We could be going to nuke, Charlie.
I didn't think this is how Inferno would go after Into the Breach's dominance on Vertigo, 16-2. And yet VP.Prodigy, they did mentally reset. They came into this with a new mindset and they've given themselves a chance, but look at what Into the Breach have to fight with: an MP9, 3 Deagles and a 5.7. Lackluster utility at best.
The fact as well, in that round, Result was able to get the kills towards Banana. We saw that early aggression and Adam went down for absolutely nothing. Dobbo only able to find 1. We needed to see more.
Oh, it's done.
Yeah, it's over.
Result just individually won this round for them and won this game. Nuke is going to be on the cards. Cheerful shuts down Cypher. Rusty, 1 versus 5 with a Deagle. No defuse kit, just 1 flashbang. Has to sort of hope for something, a miracle, and Lomic denies anything. 16-13. Nuke is right around the corner.
Yeah, and obviously we mentioned it seemed as though Into the Breach, after that success on Vertigo, we're going to close out Inferno with a lot of ease, but this is the problem with picking a map known, played by all. You can certainly get dominated on it. Obviously, it wasn't domination, but it was a close one nonetheless. But VP.Prodigy, they've kept themselves alive in this one. And obviously, as you mentioned, Nuke will be on the cards next. But an absolutely crazy second map there. VP.Prodigy, you mentioned they were the dominant team for pretty much the whole of that game. Into the Breach, they clawed their way back in, but they still didn't have enough to close it out. So yeah, as we mentioned, Nuke going to be on the cards. But any final thoughts before we jump over to that third map?
I mean, it was just really impressive mental fortitude from VP.Prodigy to sort of come back into this series after having such a dire first map on their map pick. Really, it felt like they just had nothing. It felt like the old VP.Prodigy was just gone, but in that map, they really showed that they're here to fight. And I mean, you got to think that's the first map that Into the Breach have lost all season, and it's come from VP.Prodigy in the quarterfinals.
And I feel like obviously you can have those seasons where you go unbeaten, but eventually there's going to be a thorn in your side, and realistically, VP.Prodigy are going to be ecstatic with that result. They've now got themselves at a level playing field. Yes, it was still a close matchup, but they've given themselves a lifeline, and their sights are going to be set on that semi-finals. But as I mentioned, we will just go to a short break before the final match, Nuke. Hello there, guys. Welcome back. We are going to be jumping straight into this one. Obviously, the third and final map of this series. And what are your thoughts going into this one, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, someone's going to take the victory in this best of three here. Knife round actually is going to be played in this. Obviously, the decider into the breach do come out on top. So they're going to be able to choose what side they want. Probably the CT side, you would imagine. But it's going to be interesting to see how this one does go.
Yeah, well, I feel like the Brits on the blades, you know, we're not that used to the gunplay, but the blades. you.
Is that why we don't have any top teams?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Into the Breach is top team, but like,
Tier
top teams.
Tier 1, yeah, no, I get what you mean. Into the Breach definitely a team that a lot of these top teams are potentially going to be facing in a short period of time. I feel like they're definitely getting themselves to that higher stage, but straight away we're jumping in. Third and final map here for both of these sides, and the semi-finalists here will be crowned after these rounds. And are we going to see an overtime, Charlie? I feel like we deserve one.
Yeah, we haven't seen an overtime in this series. I actually thought last map we could have had one. Well, no, it wasn't to be. Rusty finds one, but does get taken down shortly after. Adam's been brought down low early.
Dobbo and Draken already down here. I doubt they're going to be aware of Draken. Oh, Dobbo will get found. And oh, that is perfect double there from Latic. Cypher aggressing. Will find Result. He's going to get swarmed here. Oh, but Cypher finds another. 1 versus 2 now. Oh, he brings it to a 1v1. It's just Cheerful remaining. The bomb will get planted, but the door's open. And Cypher, he's done so much work in this round. And take a bow, a 4K from Cypher. A 1v4 practically. And that is absolutely amazing there from Cypher. And this is what we're talking about. Any single player on this ITB side can have a round like that. And it was Cypher this time round. And VP.Prodigy, they're going to be kicking themselves. They would have had an absolutely amazing start here on Nuke. But they just gave Cypher too many opportunities. And he certainly did confirm them.
Yeah, not a bad way to start off the third and final map. Just get yourself basically a 4v1 like you said. Job done at that point. You've had your impact for the game. Don't know if we're going to have a clutch better than that from the rest of this match, really.
Never say never, though. We've seen crazy clutches in the past. Look at the buys, though. It's interesting. We've got 3 SMGs, a rifle, and a scout for Into the Breach. We've got 2 rifles, a scout, an SMG, and a deagle. So, VP.Prodigy, they've not got the worst weapons to wield in this one.
Look at the util, though. Just 1 flashbang. That's all they got on Fen 2K. I mean, util's not perfect on Into the Breach, but at least they have something more to play with.
Something I'll mention, though, Charlie. No defuse kit here for ITB, so that could be somewhat problematic. We do have a player tucked in here on the right-hand side. He has been spotted, does get found. Dobbo eliminated. Man advantage here for ITB, and Rusty will get himself down towards Secret, and that is a perfect double. Adam and Rusty coming alive in this one. Instantly, they go from a disadvantaged situation to being the ones in the driver's seat. Result 10 HP as well. Certainly going to be a tough round here for VP.Prodigy.
Where are they even going to opt to go to?
Just trickle their way through lobby and leave Fen 2K in the heavens. Draken will send the smoke. Oh, he's somewhat aware of heaven. And Fen 2K needs to be careful. Rusty slowly creeping his way outside. Draken not in a perfect position. Will be between a rock and a hard place here, but it does seem as though might be going towards Squeaky. Lovely flash there. Fen 2K slowly aggresses.
Oh! Draken does eventually fall.
The gamble towards B here. There's only 10 seconds for them to play with. Cheerful has jumped across, but he gets taken down, and that's it. That's the round done. And Cypher, he's hungry for more. He finds that 1v4 in the last, 2 in this one to clutch it out and Into the Breach. They keep this win streak going. That was a force as well, but somehow that is absolutely amazing there. I believe it was Rusty towards main to take him down, and that is brilliant.
Yeah, just denying any sort of bomb plant, denying any sort of second force. Just really huge performance there from Rusty. Now we see a few more rifles in play from Into the Breach. Just going to be the eco of VP.Prodigy as they burst through Squeaky door. And they all die within seconds. Rusty and Draken, the 2 Swedes combined, take them all out of the server. I think we're probably going to play this. That's a bit of a bonus round from Into the Breach. VP.Prodigy, you can see Latic's got himself an AWP out.
straight away. Doesn't want to take any risk. But obviously, we should be seeing a fairly strong buy from ITB in the next. I feel like we might see Adam drop over Draken. That big green. Obviously, Draken probably got enough to bring it out himself. But if Into the Breach can take this one, this would be an absolutely amazing round. Because as we mentioned, this is a bit of a bonus. Cypher going to be sending, I believe, Adam through there. The flash is good. Hot aggression does come through. 2 players aggressing ramp. They've not been met with any contact, so they will just fall back. That was Dobbo and Draken to try and take that control. I think the outside smokes are going to be thrown here for Fen2k. Watch out. That smoke might trickle its way underneath. Oh, I was very worried there for Fen2k. Dobbo going to be sending the flashbang here. We do have Adam already in secret. The timing on this flash needs to be perfect. It comes through. They're fully blinded. And Adam has spotted players. Just needs to keep himself alive. No need to peek any further.
He's got information. Done a lot of damage to Fen2k. Job done. But Cypher does get found by Resol from Squeaky. Don't think he realised the smoke dissipated.
We do still have Rusty on the back of the bomb site. 2 players might be creeping their way into Heart. Oh, and Resol finds another. Latic takes down Dobbo. It's Draken and Rusty. The 2 Swedes again to try and close this one out. And Draken waits for the lineup. He finds a second. And Rusty on the bomb site gets a kill himself. A 2 versus 5 gone 2v2. And Draken to do it all. Will retrieve the orb. The bomb at his fingertips. Goes for the peek. The early shot. But he doesn't find it. Molotov on the bomb. He's got a nade as well to send. And Cheerful. Very low HP. Certainly going to struggle in this one. We'll send out the flash. But there's surely not much. Oh, I was going to say there's surely not much he can do, but he gets the perfect headshot there onto Draken.
Oh, that is so unlucky. If Draken realised how low he was, I don't think that orb would have been picked up. Maybe he delayed the nade as well from when the molly was about to dissipate, but potentially thought he was going to jump into it to try to get the bomb. Really unfortunate stuff. Draken and Rusty almost made the impossible possible. You got to think, it's really humbled the economy of VP.Prodigy. They've got an MP7 in play.
Khalil as well.
And Khalil, so yeah, it's not ideal.
Look at the buy from Into the Breach. They've got all the weapons, the util as well. Only 1 kit, so that might be somewhat problematic, but it's going to be this fast A-pop here. Latic takes down Cypher. Great opening pick. 2 players towards main, but they line up, and Latic will take him down. Latic's on for the A-series, found 4 in this round. The final player being Dobbo in the vents, and I think Latic might go hunting for it.
What a round there, Draken. He's been absolutely obliterated a couple of times. Just the crosshair placement from these players are so unbelievably precise.
Into the Breach. They started things off very nicely. These last 2 rounds really haven't gone their way. Obviously, that last round going down to a 1v1, but that came from Draken and Rusty's heroics. How often can that be replicated? They didn't even find the round. So we really need to see a little bit more caution here from this ITB side. Because we saw what happened when VP.Prodigy got that early lead on Inferno. Into the Breach, a side that I feel like we were certainly very confident on them taking it in a 2-0 fashion. They've got to at least win the series, or that first match would be an absolute blunder for them. They really set the tone of this series, and if they're not able to win it, that would be just absolutely devastating. Nice nade there from Dobbo. We're going to be seeing the boost here.
Yeah, Dobbo's got to try to be able to fight. Well, there's that done.
What could you
Draken's
do?
able to use the M4 now, I suppose, but unarmored isn't going to be ideal.
Yeah, those situations are really tough because Dobbo needs to get aggressive, but when Fen2k just hits that type of shot, there's not really much you can do. Draken could take down the AWP here, does find Latic. Obviously, the AWP can be wielded by these unarmored players and not have the biggest of problems. We'll just spam through the wall. I doubt Draken's aware of this player close outside. Cypher getting himself in a nice position here. We'll be facing off against Resol. Rusty does find 1. Draken does fall to Fen2k. And now it's all on Cypher. Could find Resol here. Nope. Resol clearing all these angles, playing it very slowly. Orb can be saved, and VP.Prodigy, they level things up here.
Some of the shots we've seen from VP.Prodigy, the one as a Draken, just so quickly from top main. I think it was Fen2k, just instantly just swings out, hits the headshot with a quick burst, and just gets out of dodge again.
And he did the exact same thing to Domo on top of Silo. Fen2k probably not had the best series so far, but if you can find those individual kills here and there, certainly going to be one to be praised at the end of the series, but that's if VP.Prodigy can close it out. Perfect flash, but it doesn't matter. Adam still finds one.
Cypher towards Vent, does get found. Dobbo now in heaven. Fen2k rips him out of the server. Draken comes over the fence, finds one before getting dropped. Fen2k, but that's the on for the ace there.
And this really isn't how Into the Breach we're looking at this final map, looking at this series. But Fen2k has been so clinical there on the rifle. This is where Into the Breach, they really need to reach deep into that strat book, into the cooling, and I feel like this is where we're going to be seeing Adam, Juve as well, the coach. This is where we're going to really see the strategies come into play, because on Vertigo we saw individuals fragging out Inferno, we saw a close matchup, but now Into the Breach, they're on the back foot here in this final matchup on the stronger side. And we cannot see Into the Breach lose that many more rounds on this CT side, or this one will go the way of VP.Prodigy.
Yeah, something certainly needs to change for Into the Breach. They won their rounds from winning the pistol. Since then, haven't seen the same sort of success. You have to think if Draken could have won that clutch, I mean, that would have been 4-0 for Into the Breach, and who knows how many they could have found off of that.
Obviously, just this eco with a couple armored deagles. Result finds Dobbo there. It's just Draken and Rusty once again. I feel like we've seen this quite a lot, although not on the full buy. We need to see potentially the Brits play a little bit more passively. I like the confidence that they have, the aggression they're taking, but it really isn't panning out so well for them. Something to point out, Dobbo's currently 0-6. Obviously, sometimes a ramp player isn't going to have that much impact in a, in the matchup, but it's not as though VP.Prodigy haven't been leaving players towards ramp. It just seems that Dobbo's been getting a little too inquisitive and certainly getting punished for it.
5 versus 2 here. Draken and Rusty. All that remains, damage. It's sort of the only thing these two can hope for at this point. VP.Prodigy are already starting to build somewhat of a bank. Got to try to see what they can do to shut it down.
Look at this, VP.Prodigy, they're in a 3-man advantage, but still playing this one so cautiously. They don't want to give up any kills because they know that T-side economy can be a little bit difficult, and they want to get as many full buys out in a row as possible. They don't want to be limited whatsoever. They're slowly going to be creeping on towards the A-bomb site. Fen2k, has spotted Draken. Resol will take him down. There's a player on the back of the site. Rusty finds one and a second, nearly the third there. Resol 3 HP. We mentioned damage being the main aim of the game, and I feel like Rusty going to be happy with that.
Yeah, that's one of those situations that can get really dicey if there was another player just completely out of the action. Like, Rusty takes down the bomb planter, time's really low, finds the second, and you're sort of thinking, oh, they're going to get the bomb and plant it in time.
Obviously, Rusty was well within the action. It's not as though it's a bomb site where you can find a kill and kind of back away. Cypher, though, does take down Cheerful. A great opening pick here. This is the change we've needed for Into the Breach, and the fact they find this opening pick, this is where things could work out for them, but they cannot go looking for more. They can't go hunting. If they get found, that could be very devastating for them.
Yeah, 5 rounds for VP.Prodigy is already quite a successful half.
Obviously, a map like Nuke, we're expecting maybe a 10-5, and then you kind of sometimes see a 9-6, sometimes an 11-4, but I feel like 10-5 is just a perfect way to really show the round split between the CT and T side. They're going to be wrapping Heaven here. Cypher's slowly creeping down towards Secret. Adam's in a nice position here. just leaning towards the CT side of outside, waiting for a swing, for some form of contact. VP.Prodigy are playing fairly split here. They're looking for this opening pick to try and get it back to a level playing field before they execute. Cypher will send the Molotov, gets himself back onto the bomb site and elevates himself above. It's going to be this B pop now. We do have a player rotating in. Oh, but look at that from Cypher. He gets a lovely double, but Latic on the AWP will find one. It's now Adam and Draken to try and close this out. Latic retrieves the AK. Adam will fall, and now it's all on Draken. Another 1v1 for the Swede to win.
Heading towards double doors. That's exactly where Latic is. No scope miss. Got a second chance, and he capitalizes.
I got very dicey there, but Draken, the fact he just completely swung across there made the spray quite difficult for Latic. And then he had to hit that no-scope. He was in a do-or-die position and into the breach. They stopped the aggressive kind of win streak of this VP.Prodigy side. But they need to string these rounds together. And look at the weapons they're going to have to be wielding. We're going to see potentially 2 MP9s in play. Dobbo, in fact, opts for a FAMAS. But utility's not perfect. We only have 2 kits as well. But into the breach. They've won it with weaker weapons before. They're definitely going to need to string these together. Lovely find there from Latic. The AWP instantly shut down.
Joint top fragger and Draken does get found. Cypher is the next top fragger and he's looking for a kill back. Perfect way to find it. Pushes through Squeaky, grabs one and just evades back through the smoke. Dobbo having a really tough time with things. You mentioned was 0-6, 0-7 now.
I love that protocol that obviously the AWP are peeking towards Squeaky. Once the smoke lands, obviously the AWP certainly going to be a little more mobile, get himself away from Squeaky because you're never really going to find an AWP shot through that smoke. So Cypher, the kind of the instant movement towards Squeaky through the smoke certainly caught them off guard. But as the smokes fade, that is the bomb that could go down. Cypher, another important kill, time and time again. Cypher's been stepping up in this one, and Lomit could fall as well. He does fall to Rusty, and that bomb's getting further and further away from the VP.Prodigy side.
Cheerful in the meantime, in all the sort of anarchy, sees if he can find an avenue, does take down Cypher. The HB isn't perfect on the side of Into the Breach. Latic gonna be trying to wield this, and Rusty gets wallbanged. Perfectly played from Latic, jumping over, spotting the player. 2 versus 2 now. Bomb's gonna be planted by Latic.
It's Adam and Dobbo to close this out. The 2 bottom performing players here for ITB. Latic on the AWP. Gets the quick scope onto Dobbo. Adam will find him though. Just cheerful to take down. Adam does have a Molotov. Might force him back. But I doubt he's going to be aware. And cheerful takes him down. VP.Prodigy, they find 6. They're going to force their opponents onto an eco. And into the breach, a side that both of us potentially thought to take the whole of the season, to be crowned the victors. They're on the back foot now on the CT side. And this is absolutely awful for them. VP.Prodigy destined to find 7 and an 8-7 half. Something you rarely see on the CT side of Nuke, but in reality, it could be even more for VP.Prodigy.
Well, he does get thrown out. Another one towards Secret. You know, Adam's tricks.
Obviously, it is just a half by here from Into the Breach, but they can make things work. Draken biding his time. Oh, no! Does find one at least, but that was absolutely awful. Draken was in a perfect position to find at least 2 there. Pretty trigger discipline.
Sort of the worst positions. He played it perfectly, just couldn't hit the shot, and then as soon as you miss the first, the paranoia, the panic sort of sets in as you just spam, praying that your bullets connect.
Nice from Result there. Quick spin and takes down Cypher. Dobbo going to be aggressing. He's made his position known, but he does find Result. That weapon can be retrieved. Got a real chance, but he's been dinked down. And look at that, Fen 2K. A beautiful double there. And the youngsters here for VP.Prodigy have come alive on Nuke. Realistically, Charlie, I don't think many teams would have the mental fortitude to lose their own map 16-2 and to come back all the way to the final match and be in the lead on the T side.
I mean, the thing that's impressive is Into the Breach. is they got 3 of their players double digits. VP.Prodigy only have 1, but VP.Prodigy's a lot more sort of split in terms of the kills. They're a lot more even. It feels like a lot more of a team performance right now. Because there's a couple of individuals into the breach who just aren't having a great game, and this is sort of the worst time for it to happen.
Yeah, Adam and Dobbo both really need to step up. Obviously, Adam being the in-game leader, sometimes, you know, the in-game leader, you will see them not at the top of the leaderboard, but we know Adam can frag, especially on a map like Nuke, where he does just have that freedom on that kind of rotation position. Time and time again, we see Adam instantly dropping down towards Secret. We see a lot of protocols to kind of set Adam up for success, but really not found that success in this one. And now Rusty, he's going hunting, finds the first, might just back away here. Perfectly timed. And they're waiting for the aggression from Ramp, and Adam will fall. We do have Dobbo lying in wait. Does find the first, takes down the second, can't find the third, but that's a great double there from Dobbo. And Draken posted up on the angle, misses the shot, can go for the repeat here.
Rusty now advanced through lobby. Cheerful doesn't really have an escape. Oh, Lomic spots Rusty, allows his teammate to come back towards the A site.
We are going to have one come from main. In fact, one in the heavens. It's going to be so rough here. Draken and Cypher, no kit to play with. They're aware of Draken's positioning. I wonder what Into the Breach even do here. It's a 2 versus 2. Surely they go for this, but it's going to be tough. Cypher has retrieved the kit. Both players coming from heaven with no utility. And we've got a player on the backside who's just staring towards it. Draken does find one. It's now Dobbo in the 1 versus 1. But Lomic, so much work in that round. Finding the player towards lobby. That was Rusty, and a nice double there. And out of the last 9 rounds, VP.Prodigy have been successful in 8 of them. They've taken the half on the T side of Nuke. And everything's going wrong here for ITB.
The individuals of VP.Prodigy have just stepped up beyond belief. Really gone above and beyond this game. We've seen some lackluster performances from them throughout the season, but this is where they shine. Playoffs.
And Charlie, I feel like when we first looked at the season, I feel like we both were waiting for an Iron Branch VP.Prodigy matchup in the finals, but we might not see a single one of those teams there, as VP.Prodigy, they're looking to knock Into the Breach out in the quarterfinal stage. Obviously, there's still plenty more rounds to be played here, but ITB, they've really not had the best of starts here on Nuke, especially when on the favoured side.
It has all been going wrong. Cheerful spearheading the attack towards Ramp. Dobbo's dropped down as Draken falls.
They do take down Dobbo as well. Cypher, he's been waiting on this B-bomb site for quite some time now. Adam will fall. It's all on Cypher, and he gets eliminated by Fen2k. A great double there from Fen2k, finding Cypher and also the player towards Secret. I believe that was Rusty. But VP.Prodigy could find double digits on the T side of Nuke, and I feel like that's a real rarity. We mentioned a 10-5 half incoming, but we never expected it to come from the Ts.
Yeah, certainly not. I mean, the fact that VP.Prodigy can find 11 is pretty ridiculous. Already this half's unbelievable from them. It feels like everything, all the disappointments that VP.Prodigy's gone through this season, in all the previous seasons as well, it feels like they've all just gone away. And they're playing some of the best CS I think we've seen from them in a long, long time.
Passive round here from both sides. Obviously, VP.Prodigy, they know they cannot take their foot off the gas. Although in a 9-4 current scoreline, the final 2 rounds go the way of ITB, and the pistol round as well. We could be back at a level playing field. Realistically, Charlie, if there was a team to come back into this one, I feel like Into the Breach could be one of the best teams in the SCL for this comebacks due to the experience on the roster and the individuals, and you don't want to give them any time to warm back into it. Lomic, though, does take down Fen2k. That is the bomb drop, though. They're going to have to send a player back up to retrieve it. It might be Latic, but it is going to be tough.
Cypher Tucked in towards second vents. Could have some contact coming his way soon. Draken clearing out ramp. Going to be pushing into lobby. Cypher finds one. Does decide to repeat and cost him his life. Draken, in the meantime, still creeping through behind.
In the back lines here, but Adam will fall towards Garage. The bomb has been retrieved. They've got 20 seconds to work with here. They do have time to go down towards the vents, but Draken, as you mentioned, in the back lines, he's done a great job here. They are going to be leaning towards A. The final player in Dobbo is towards Secret, going to be creeping his way towards main, but he's being held by Latic. Dobbo's going to have perfect crosshair placement to eliminate the AWP here. And this is a shot I feel like we never see Latic miss. Oh, but Dobbo on the jiggle does bait out the first shot. Lomic residing towards this second vent, and Dobbo needs to be aware of it, but he doesn't seem too aware. And VP.Prodigy, they find double digits here. The money for ITB, certainly not perfect. And things have gone from bad to worse here for the Into the Breach side. They've only found one round apart from their success on the pistol.
Yeah, sort of feels like a story you'd be saying on the T side, certainly not on the CT. Into the Breach. Really struggling here. 4 pieces of utility. No defuse kit. And just these M4s to try to salvage something in this half. VP.Prodigy could be knocking out the favourites for the whole tournament just here in the quarterfinals. Cypher does take down the bomb. This lobby aggression, potentially, this is something we needed to see earlier.
Look at the lack of utility here, though, from ITB. This round isn't going to be won based on longevity. It's going to be won from the individuals taking these aggressive peaks early on. They use their final smoke, and Draken and Adam with these final 2 flashbangs. I feel like we might even need to see some more aggression from ITB. They can't just wait for a site execution because they do not have the utility to hold off. I like the setup that Draken and Adam are running here. Nice Molotov towards second vent, or posted up, waiting for the swing. Hasn't come through yet. As I mentioned, there's so much utility to work with. Oh, and the flashes are good. Rusty gets taken down, and it is in fact going to be this B hit. Lomic already here. Latic with a no-scope. Misspray from Lomic, but it doesn't even matter. Takes down Dobbo, and instantly 2 versus 4. Cypher takes down Latic. Brings it to a 2v3. Oh, but Resso will eliminate him. It's all on Draken. The top performer, or second top performer, sorry, for ITB. But Resso, as he opens the doors, he realizes Draken's just behind. And VP.Prodigy, they find 11 here on the T side of Nuke. An absolutely crazy scoreline, and VP.Prodigy only 5 rounds away from taking themselves to the semi-finals and eliminating potentially the favourites of the whole Challenger division.
I mean, just look at the top 3 on each sort of side. Cypher, Draken and Rusty, sort of on level playing fields with Latic, Lomic and Result. Sadly, Adam and Dobbo cannot say the same. Only 5 kills apiece from either of them. It's been a really tough game so far, but an 11-4 scoreline, Fred. Is this too far gone? I mean, if there's a team to make the comeback, surely it'd be Into the Breach, but this feels too far gone, surely.
I feel like the pistol round definitely going to define how this final map plays out. If Into the Breach take it, they've got somewhat of a chance. Obviously, it could put them on potentially 7 rounds. And I feel like, you know, they would be 4 rounds away from their opponents still, but it's not impossible. They can still bring it back, but realistically, VP.Prodigy, they've got the confidence. They brought themselves back from such a dire first match.
Fenduke with the Julies.
Love to see.
Hit on Latic. Nice bit of util on VP.Prodigy as well. Into the Breach. Only util they got left is a flashbang. Yeah, thrown out now. Ramp's been successfully taken. But no damage traded.
Interestingly, they dropped the smoke on the left-hand side. It will force Cypher to creep his way on through from the right. Nice dink there onto Cheerful. Oh, that is unfortunate. Adam had a real chance there. Oh, but it's this heaven wrap, and Adam towards main. Does find one. Spots the player up the vents. Cypher going to be aggressing here. Does find Fen2K. Cheerful and Latic. 2 versus 4 here, and Cheerful able to find one. Gets the second, even on this low HP. The positioning here for Rusty is absolutely perfect. There is no way they're going to be expecting him. And Cypher doesn't even need to peek. He can just wait for Rusty's contact. And there it is. Rusty fires off that first shot, and now it's all on Cheerful. 5 HP. He's found 2 kills on this lack of HP already. Surely he can't find 2 more.
It does get taken down. The 5th round finally on the board for Into the Breach, and they do win the pistol. Like you said, if there is a force buy from VP.Prodigy, which it doesn't look like there is right now, they could have found 7, but that is still 7 on the weaker side of Nuke. But it is a force buy, very late buy for VP.Prodigy. Scouts, Deagles, and the 5-7. Cheerful just opting for the USP.
Yeah. Dropped over the Scout to Latic. I think he dropped over a Deagle, but I think someone stole it. I think Fen2K might have stolen it away from Cheerful, but maybe Cheerful just opting for the USP. Latic trying to get some tags towards outside, playing very deep here. Even further than CT spawn, and what a shot from Fen2K. Cypher does find Lomic here. Cheerful slowly going to be creeping his way down. He has been spotted, in fact. Or maybe he hasn't. Does get the dink onto Adam. Dobbo in a nice position here. They've heard the ladder. Does find Resol, and Dobbo searching for more. We mentioned how Adam and Dobbo need to step up in this one, but what a kill onto Cypher. Cheerful has got armor, can wield the AK to a high standard. And 2 players very low here for ITB. Both Adam and Rusty, the 2 players on the Mac 10, certainly going to struggle in this one. This round certainly on the shoulders of Dobbo.
I don't know how much VP.Prodigy are going to go for this. I don't know how aware they are that Adam and Rusty are so low. They're not really going to do anything, so they might just be trying to keep hold of these weapons as they go into the next round. I mean, it could be worth it. Fen2K and Cheerful both have primary weapons, but they also have Deagles as the sidearms, so they can drop these and wield the rifles themselves with obviously the armor behind it, so it could still be a pretty solid buy.
And all one needs to see is maybe Latic could invest in just Kevlar. Obviously he wants to bring out the orb, but you know, they could have a real crack at the next one, so why not give it a chance? But it could just be players like Resol and Lomic to bring out the armor, drop the Deagles over. They'll have a stronger buy in this one than they did in the last.
I mean, it's 2.9k loss bonus, so Latic can actually invest a little bit.
Deagles have been dropped. Resol has invested in armor, but Lomic and Latic have opted against it. Ooh, I don't know whether Adam would have spotted that player dropping down the vents. Obviously, as we mentioned, it is just this kind of half buy once again for VP.Prodigy. They can make things work here. 2 players already down towards Secret and Into the Breach. Seemingly are going to be going into this double aggression here. Setup currently. It is Lomic and Cheerful. Oh, but they are very much aware. Rusty not taking any chances in this one. Draken has retrieved the AK. Nice cheeky little upgrade there for Draken. Fighting towards outside. Fen2K playing a really ratty angle, just tapping away, and he finds 3. Adam takes down Resol, 2 versus 2 now. But Cypher and Adam, 34 HP combined. And what a play there from Fen2K. He's been so clinical on the T side, finding those opening picks. And with the Galil in hand, the fact he was able to find 3 towards outside, it was just because he was playing that very awkward angle. Cypher needs to find the kill, does take Lomic down. Fen2K is still alive and kicking in this one, but we already have Adam down towards B as well. Molotov towards Ven. Unnecessary risk there from Fen2K. He's given away his position. He's dropped down a lot of HP. And I feel like Fen2K potentially could have won that last one, but as I mentioned, kind of just thrown it away.
Still not over yet. Adam does find the kill though. Well, that's really unfortunate. Fen2K doesn't actually tag him, but next to nothing. Adam was sort of 1 shot away from death and sort of somehow stayed alive.
Into the Breach, finding these first 3 rounds. Obviously, we see the AWP out for Latic and the FAMAS on for Result, so they kind of cancel out the limitations there. Draken does have a Galil, but this is a bonus round for Into the Breach. They could have invested fully, but realistically, Into the Breach, they need all the money they can get, and they're going to have to go on a mighty streak here on the T side if they want to bring this one back. But as we both mentioned, if there were a team to do it, it would be ITB.
Rusty gets himself down to Secret. As the smoke clears, Lomic is staring. Hasn't actually spotted Rusty.
And no rotations come through. In fact, Rusty can just progress down towards Secret. We could be seeing a ramp hit into Secret. We could be seeing players go down the vents into the breach. I don't know really what they're going to be opting for, because obviously Rusty's going to be progressing. But obviously, after being met with no contact, it might be a little bit questionable. But now the contact comes through. Adam finds Lomic, an important kill towards outside. The setup on A is near perfect. Resol finds one and a second. We do see Cheerful find Cypher as well. So man advantage for VP.Prodigy. I say that. Draken will find one. 2 versus 2 now, and Latic has made his position known. He is just baiting for Fen2k, and he could find this pick here. An important frag, and it is all Draken now. Does have the Galil, the weaker weapon, just tucked away onto the backside.
Fen2k just waiting, trying to bide his time. Flashbang's going to be thrown. It's going to go behind Draken, but the timing's awful. Draken just turns, and VP.Prodigy do find their 12th. The first full buy of the second half, they do win it.
Look at the money on some players. Dobbo and Rusty really going to struggle for an investment in this one. We could just be seeing a half buy from ITB. It will allow, you know, a full buy in the next with no limitations whatsoever, but straight away we see the full buy out, and I love that from Adam. I don't know if you've seen it, Charlie, but he's brought out an AK and a Tech 9, dropped the AK over to Rusty, and that's what an in-game leader should do. Set up your teammates for success. Don't put Rusty on a Mac 10 and you on an AK. Just bring out the tech, and Rusty will fire on all cylinders with this AK, especially because Adam hasn't had the most successful of games so far. But a pivotal round here. If Into the Breach lose this one, they will just be on an eco in the next, and that will allow VP.Prodigy to find 14.
Very crucial stuff here. Into the Breach. This is their lifeline. If they lose this, VP.Prodigy could be within touching distance of knocking them out. Boost going on. I don't think Cypher's able to spot him just yet. Lomic's playing slightly too far down. They are progressing. Or Lomic could actually spot him with this boost. And Cypher falls. That's one of the rifles. Adam can't pick that up.
We are going to be seeing Rusty progressing now. Seems as though a couple players want to get themselves down towards vent. Once the doors open, that will alert these A players to drop down the vent. Fen2k now rotating down. The doors have opened, and Fen2k does have a chance for some frags. The spams through the smoke. Not perfect, but Fen2k has a chance to find the player towards Toxic. But Rusty, so much work there. And remember, Charlie, all of this from Rusty came from the pick, or the kind of the dropped AK from Adam, but it doesn't matter. Resol gets a double with the MP9, has retrieved an AK, and as I mentioned, we're gonna have to see an eco for ITB. VP.Prodigy after this one, they're going to be 2 rounds away from getting themselves to the semi-finals. We mentioned the Hosu game being an upset in regards to Iron Branch not being the successors, not getting themselves to semi-finals, and I feel like we're going to be saying the exact same here. VP.Prodigy, they've done a great job at silencing Into the Breach.
Yeah, this really could be over. Scary thought. But it just shows the level of competition in this league. That nobody's safe. There's no guarantees at all.
And even if you're one of the top teams in the league, HLTV's kind of standings certainly calling Into the Breach. Definitely the favourite, but everything has gone wrong for them here. And even Result on the backlines. This is just this eco, but we need to see some more from ITB. They're just getting eliminated. Lomic finds Rusty and Latic takes down Adam. And as I mentioned before, 2 rounds away from finding our new semi-finalists.
If Into the Breach do fail to win this one, you've got to think they're going to be kicking themselves over that Inferno game. Mistakes certainly were made from both sides. Into the Breach had their chances.
They had so many opportunities. It was a 4v2 that they lost. A couple 1 versus 3s for VP.Prodigy. A multitude of clutches going their way. And straight away, things go from bad to worse as Lomic opens things up onto Draken. Smoke there from Lomic, but he's going to protrude his way on out. Cheerful going to be dropping the smoke for Squeaky. Smokes have landed for ITB.
Somebody needs to be the hero here. Somebody needs to dig into the breach out of this hole.
It could be Rusty.
And Rusty, yeah, he's got some good timing. His presence has been known, and Lomic wins that gunfight. Reso as well. Dobbo gets one back, but 4 versus 2 with Dobbo being 39 HP. Fen2k has the round in the palm of his hands, and Adam left in the 1v4 finds the first. Has the bomb on his back. This bomb plant could be everything.
Might allow Into the Breach a second chance, but they're going to have to win 8 rounds in a row unless if Adam can clutch this one out. Has gone towards main. He'll be searching towards secret, but it doesn't matter. VP.Prodigy, they find 15. They've got themselves the match point. 8 opportunities to close it out on the favoured side. And Charlie, I think VP.Prodigy already smiling, already cheering. Because I think they know how this one's going to go. With 8 opportunities, they're surely going to take this one. And Into the Breach, as you mentioned, definitely going to be kicking themselves. They started this series off on a 16-2 on their opponent's map pick. We were ready for this one to be a quick 2-0. But VP.Prodigy, the mental fortitude of these youngsters to bring it back. They close it out on Inferno. And look at the dominance they've shown here on Nuke. Into the Breach, certainly going to be silenced.
Really is an unbelievable result that we can be seeing here. Adam does find one, drops down vents. As he wants to come back for a second go at things. Big risk here from Adam, but it pays off. Cheerful does go down. 5 versus 3 now. If you need something done, do it yourself. As Adam finds the first 2 and gives Into the Breach away into this B-bomb site. Latic. I mean, this is still a bit up in the air. Latic does find one. Lomic gets another. 3 versus 2 now.
Surely this can't be how things end. Oh, he bring it into a 2v2. No utility remaining here for ITB. It's Draken and Rusty once again calling upon the Swedes to close this one out. And it could be over here, Charlie. We've got all the util that VP.Prodigy could ever ask for. The Molotov to force him out. The flashbang as well. Oh, they send the smoke, but Draken does find one. Now it's all on Latic, but he gets eliminated by Rusty. A great clutch there from Rusty. But as we mentioned, all it takes is 1 round, and then things come to a close.
Money is in a sort of a big predicament right now. For both teams, really, limitations. 2 for masses for VP.Prodigy, along with the MP9, a MAC-10, and a glow on Into the Breach. VP.Prodigy quite evidently have prioritised the utility, and Latic kicks things off with an AWP shot onto Adam.
I love this boost here. They would have heard it, but Lomic, lovely kill there. Fen2k, in fact, steals away the double. Latic on the AWP. It's all on Rusty. 1 versus 4, and it's over, Charlie. Rusty surely can't win this one. VP.Prodigy already celebrating a 16-8 scoreline, unless if Rusty can clutch this one up. 1 versus 4 here, but surely too tall of a task. And we're going to find out our semi-final. Well, we found out our semi-finalists here. It's going to be a near impossible round for Rusty, and surely he can't close this one out.
Yeah, surely it's too tall an order. Latic does get the tag. Repeats takes down Rusty 16-8. Fred, we had an upset in Hotu versus Iron Branch, but this might be an upset even larger.
Yeah, once again, we do see the kind of the underdogs take it. We saw it with Hotu versus Iron Branch, as you mentioned, but here today, VP.Prodigy, they've certainly surprised absolutely everyone. I mentioned in the server earlier on, we're expecting an Iron Branch into the Breach final, but neither one of them has even progressed past the quarterfinals stage. And now I can't wait to see which teams are going to progress one further to that grand final spot. But what an absolutely amazing series. Any final words from you, Charlie?
I mean, what it does for the season, Fred, it leaves it really up in the open. I think it's so tough to predict who's going to sort of be able to take this one now. I mean, you've got one pin. Obviously, you've got Hotu. You got back Zero Tenacity tomorrow. And obviously now VP.Prodigy. We've had some real upsets. There's still some great teams left in it. And I think only time will tell who the victors are going to be.
Yeah, obviously a lot of these teams on a similar kind of playing field. I feel like we certainly put Into the Breach and Iron Branch on a bit of a pedestal above the rest, but they have been taken off that, and now we're going to be seeing how the rest of the season does close out. But obviously, this has been an absolutely amazing matchup. Congratulations to VP.Prodigy. They certainly stunned everyone here today, especially after that initial match being a 16-2 on their own map pick, going the way of their opponents. But obviously, we've got one quarterfinal remaining, and then we jump to the semi-finals, and I can't wait to see them close out. But obviously, that's been it from us. Hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure you drop a follow on the Twitch and the Twitter so you guys get those updates about which teams are making it through, and so you guys know when we're going live, because there's been so many great games here in the SCL, and the Challenger division certainly providing us with the goods. But hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow for Bax versus Zero Tenacity.